How do you make ends meet on a shoestring budget? It can be challenging to live on a shoestring budget. It necessitates meticulous financial planning and a dedication to spending restriction. These skills, which will be vital to your success in getting by on a tight budget right now, will also help you stay financially ahead long after your current financial situation has improved. What does it mean to be on a shoestring budget? For most of us, this means cutting down to the bare minimum for a while and possibly finding another source of income. It entails temporarily forgoing some non-essentials in order to save money on the minimum necessities. And in order to do so, you must first create a budget. You should keep track of how much money comes in and out, as well as where it goes, if you don't already. When you look at your budget closely, you might find that it isn't quite as tight as you think. You can use a pen and paper, or a small notebook to keep track of your budget, or you can use an app or spreadsheet. Simply make sure that whatever you choose is simple enough for you to follow through with. Make a list of your essential expenses, which are bills that you have no choice but to pay, as well as your non-essential expenses, which include streaming services, restaurant visits, and so on. Some of your needs, such as food and clothing, may have to be estimated. If necessary, review previous banking and credit card statements. Subtract your monthly expenses from your income once you have a good estimate. This will give you a good idea of how tight your budget is before you begin to loosen it up. Then start slashing the budget. This may make you uncomfortable, but keep in mind that it will be crucial in getting your finances in order, so you don't have to live on a shoestring budget any longer than necessary. These tips can help you get started making a little more room in a tight budget, whether you are single or dealing with a tight family budget. Make it a goal to research ways to save money in one of your budget categories for a few minutes each week. You'll have a budget that you can manage after a few months. Suggestions for saving money on food. Food is an unavoidable expense because we all need to eat. Many of us, however, overspend in this category. Here are a few ways to save money on food, however, an internet search will yield hundreds of other food-saving ideas. Make a list of all of your meals so you can stay on track with your food budget. Start by looking through the weekly sales flyers to see what foods you can get for less money. Portion control is especially important when it comes to snacking. The less you eat, the fewer items you'll need to purchase. Once a month, do a big grocery shopping trip, and then a few smaller trips a few times a month to get perishables like vegetables and milk. Because it limits your ability to impulse shop, the fewer trips you make to the store, the more money you save. Always shop with a list in hand, and only buy what's on it. Keep a list of prices for commonly purchased items, so you can estimate how much the trip will cost. If you think you're going to overspend, cross items off your list to avoid going over budget at the checkout counter. Clip coupons, both paper and digital, if possible. Tips on how to save money on toiletries. One of the most difficult areas to cut is your toiletry budget. Skincare and hair care products can be costly, but you can save money by switching to brands that are frequently on sale and for which coupons are available. Try washing your hair every other day instead of every day, and make a point of using less product. Make your own face scrubs instead of buying them. If you don't leave disposable razors in the shower, they might last a little longer. Rather than buying shaving cream, try using soap. Rather than visiting a manicurist, try doing your own nails. Alternatively, invite some friends over for a manicure party. Saving money on your car can be done in a variety of ways. By shopping around for a lower auto insurance rate, you can save money. You can lower your premium even more by increasing your deductible. You can reduce your trips to the gas station by limiting your driving where possible. You can make a game out of it by combining errands and seeing how many days you can get out of a single tank of gas. Spend less on non-essentials without sacrificing everything. When it comes to non-essential expenses, you don't have to completely eliminate them, but you should find ways to significantly reduce them. Cancel your gym membership and search the internet for free workouts. You can also perform simple calisthenics at home. Cancel any streaming services you only use once in a while. Create a clothing budget for yourself. For clothing, look for bargains or use eBay. Make a separate budget for entertainment. This is a difficult area to manage spending in, but you will be able to pay off a significant portion of your debt or build an emergency fund if you do so. It's critical to keep your spending under control when you're on a tight budget. The envelope budgeting system is a great way to keep track of your spending when you're on a tight budget. Clothing, entertainment, food, beauty, gas, medical, and miscellaneous expenses should all be kept in separate envelopes. Make envelopes for any budget categories that are likely to fluctuate. You could have envelopes for everything from hobby supplies to pets to video games. Place your monthly allowance for each category in the appropriate envelopes. Leave any extra money in each envelope at the end of the month for clothing, entertainment, beauty, and food, and treat yourself in those categories on occasion. Put any leftover gas money into a separate envelope for future auto expenses like oil changes, and any extra medical money into a separate envelope for doctor visits, old medications during flu season, and so on. Miscellaneous funds can be used for gifts, household items, and anything else that doesn't fit into one of the other budget categories. Here's how to build a savings on a limited budget. When you're on a tight budget, you might be hesitant to put money into savings, but you should try to save something, even if it's only $5 to $10 per pay period. You'll be surprised at how much relief it can bring to know that you have some cash set aside in case an unexpected expense arises. They will, in fact. Consider finding a second source of income if you don't feel you have enough money to pay your bills and save each month. It could be a side gig or a very part-time job. Simply find something that will allow you to save a little money each month. There will come a time when you will be overjoyed to have money in your savings account. You can successfully live on a tight budget with some determination and self-discipline. It isn't always simple and may be very taxing at times, but if you stick with it, you will be able to improve a difficult financial situation and get to the point where you don't have to pinch those pennies as much. One last tip. If you shop online, you can save money by signing up for a free cashback service, like Rakuten, formerly Ebates. After signing up, install their browser extension and shop like you normally do. Just click the link down in the description